us once. The best one yet. We took a little bit of a break for WSG to do their thing, but we are back and we're ready to jump straight on into the action. So let me start off by introducing the two analysts we have joining us this time. FlashX, welcome back to the show. Last time I saw you, I was cardboard.
It's been a long time since I've been here. Super stoked to be back. Tribe Week, obviously a huge week for the VPL Fantasy All-Stars. Super stoked to be back with you, Tasty, as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Week 2, Humanist kicked me off the set, but I brought my muscle with me this time. FlashX took care of that, and we are back and ready to go for week number 3, Tribe Week. Some familiar faces, new and old, when it comes to Tribe, and of course, part of that is alluding to Dienzio. And why don't you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves?
Hello, everyone. I'm Dienzio. I am a world champ and also really good at lane.
Which lane, though?
All of them. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, Gabe.
Okay. My name is Gabe Bizzle. You might remember me from week 2. I lost both my games. Also, you can follow me on Twitter at Gabe Bizzle.
Hi, I'm VG Old School, and I won the first week of the Vainglory All-Stars.
Hey guys, I'm Tigers. I'm also a world champion, and I'm a jungler rather than a laner.
Okay.
I mean, one thing all 4 of you guys have in common is that they are part of Tribe Gaming. And we talked a little bit about Tribe as an organization as well, because Tribe have been around the Vainglory scene for a couple of years at this point, and they are no stranger to accolades, it's fair to say. Tribe actually managing to win out the 2017 World Championship. The NZOT Tigers were there to see it happen and raise that trophy. Also in May, we saw them come 2nd place in the VPL Summer Open. And more recently, in November, literally last weekend, we saw them take the WESG USA qualifiers, and now they're going to be going to China today. I mean, Tasty Bacon, you were there commentating. Talk to me about that event.
Yeah, that was an incredible event, and seeing these guys in person, finally playing in that matchup to go to China. They started off down 2-0. Looked like Vision Gaming were just going to take the series without much of a fight, but you guys were able to kind of regroup and reconvene with yourselves to figure out a way to take Vision down and reverse sweep. Can you just talk, like, what was that like for you guys on stage, knowing that you had no room for error left?
I'll throw that over to Tiggs.
Oh, well. Well, for me personally, it was just like, just take it one game at a time, of course. Like 3 games, just play one game, you just focus. When you play the 3rd game, you just focus on the 3rd, and when you play the 4th, you focus on the 4th. And, it's a slow process, but you just got to do it.
I know before the show you guys were talking about how there were some interesting coaching decisions that went along in through the process. Gabe, what was that kind of like?
So in Worlds 2017, the ones that they actually won, we had a coach named Pepe. He is a Tribe analyst now. Pretty much, we just pulled a Pepe, and what that is we have, I just pulled a ZO too. That is when you prepare a draft, and then you just completely throw away that draft during game time, and that's what we did against Vision. But we wanted to do it because we wanted to give them confidence, and we wanted to give them that confidence boost that, hey, maybe they can go to China and represent, but we just gave them the claps.
That was very kind of you, yes. But you guys definitely proved that you were the dominant team that weekend for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, speaking of weekends, it's about time that we head towards the draft for this one. Before we can do that, though, we have to talk about how this is all going to play out across the course of not only today, but tomorrow as well. We're in the 3rd weekend of the VPL Fantasy All-Stars. This format obviously brought to you guys by eStars. We are going to have 24 players drafted across, 24 players available to be drafted across the course of today. You guys will be selecting your teams. And then tomorrow, they'll jump into a round robin. The 2 best teams out of the round robin will jump into a best-of-3 final. And the winner will be crowned and take home that prize. But let's peruse our list of players, because it's pretty stacked this weekend. Starting in at number 1, we've got Lone Delphi. He, in the last few weeks, has been outperforming just about he has had a stellar performance recently.
Yeah, pretty much the only person in the jungle that you could argue would be better is sitting here on the desk with us in T Tigers. So he has been absolutely incredible. But you look down this list and really top to bottom, it is all pros for the most part. There's only, I think, 1 or 2 players on this list that aren't part of a pro team right now. You have most of Vision, you have most of Ferox, you have most of Hammers, and that's right.
Tribes on the desk.
Tribes on the desk. This is a stacked week that we are going to be bringing, and you see those stars as well, showing who's won previously. Gaspy, the only one with 2, so it's going to be interesting to see who's going to pick up Gaspy and try and get him that 3rd star.
He's
Not
definitely looking for his 3rd one. But, they had some interesting things to say about Gaspy. Obviously, there's some higher rated players on that list going into it, so a lot of different options for you guys.
Yeah, I'd definitely say that I'm excited that Joseph's coming back. We haven't seen him in a while. Other than that, it's nice to see Zio on the desk. He did quit because we decided to sub him when we lost the Summer Open. And he's like, I'm just going to quit because we were going to sub him. So feels bad.
I quit because you two were too heavy. School didn't know what he was doing. Gabe couldn't even play support. So I had to dip
was
out.
just too much for you. After 3v3, or mechanics,
You just fell off.
it's just
Dude, School, I'm going to smack you. I'm going to destroy you.
So, guys, talk to me a little bit about the rankings as well, because obviously we've given these guys preliminary rankings. I know Old School, you had a couple of comments to make about how these are all laid out.
What's your thoughts
what do you think,
on
School?
number 14 on that list?
I think it's just a little bit too high on the list.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fair.
I think it should maybe be switched with Evo, actually. Just completely, give them all.
Swapperoo.
For context, number 14 is Iraqi Zoro, for anyone at home.
So what you're saying is that Iraqi's not even a top 20 player.
I mean, the top 20 players are really good, but no, he's not.
So he shouldn't be in there.
Okay, but if we're talking about in his prime, we would scrim Gangstar's Cerebus when I was on Gangstar Sirius, and we play against Old School, Wrecked, and it was Pawn, right?
Fuji.
Oh, Fuji.
Fuji.
Yeah, and then we just slap them around, just give them some of those. But yeah, Iraqi's definitely a solid player for sure.
Now, the one thing I want to ask about is actually a couple players that aren't on this list. Speaking of Tribe Week, Chuck and Max Green, both not on this list. What's going on with that, guys? You have the most contact with them, so what's up with that?
So we did text Chuck in our group chat, and he said that he couldn't play this week because
He was
he planned to go shopping today. For some reason, so that's why
Pretty sure
he's not here.
Max is like playing Osu or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Max is definitely asleep.
Or he could be asleep.
So I actually got a text from Max this morning on Twitter. He's saying, is it too late to sign up? 2 hours before broadcast. So unfortunately, yes, Max, 2 hours a little too late. Let's look at how things are going to be panning out today, though. In our draft rules, you guys are going to be drafting a team out of these 24 players. The way that will work is what's called a snake draft. We'll start with DNZO on the left-hand side of the desk, and we will move along. Each captain getting 5 minutes to make their pick. Once we get to the far side with T Tigers, he will get 2 picks back-to-back, and it will move back across the table once again. So first pick will also be 8th pick, and 4th pick will also be 5th pick. So we'll move along back and forward, and we'll see how that's going to work out. I mean, you guys, have you been kind of strategizing a little bit on, because I know, Gabe, last time you were first pick, and you weren't so happy with that one last time around.
Yeah, I actually messed up the draft. I decided to go for Shaded and trying to cuck everyone else, but the sabotage plan did not work out, and I ended up losing 2 games in a row. So I'm definitely not going to do that strategy again, so we'll see how this week goes.
All right, well, gentlemen, final thoughts before we jump into the draft. DNZO, I know you had a couple of things you wanted to say to your team before we get things started.
I think we'll wait for a bit, but I definitely have something to say to them.
All right, well, we'll get back to that in a second. We're going to jump into a quick break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be kicking off the draft immediately after this. Welcome back to the beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada Strip. We are here in the Aria Resort and Casino, and we're ready to get the draft underway for Tribe Week, the third installment of the VPL Fantasy All-Stars Tournament. It's about time we get things started, though. So, D'Enzio, you are officially on the clock. So get looking at that list, start to peruse your options. And while you do that, we're going to have a bit of a chat about your history as a player. So, FlashX, first, I'm going to explain what is on the line for these guys. It would be worth talking about what we're actually here for. $2,000 is up for grabs for each of our captains and the teams that they draft. But most importantly, it is winner takes all. There is no room for error in this tournament. Only the winner will go home with some money. Everyone else going to be walking away empty-handed. But you guys at home can also get involved and win yourself some prizes. Across every single weekend, we're giving away 25,000 ice. We're giving away $500. And we're also giving away a bunch of Vainglory swag. And speaking of that, we're giving some away right now in the chat. All you have to do is watch the stream, get involved in the Twitch chat, and you can win yourself some Vainglory swag. It's happening right now, so join in. We've had some of the pro players winning some of these giveaways, so we need you guys at home to make sure that's not happening anymore. But now we can talk a little bit about the history of D'Enzio as a player. FlashX, you've been around the scene a little while, I think it's fair to say.
Just a little
Talk
bit.
to me about D'Enzio as a player.
I have been playing against D'Enzio for as long as I could possibly remember. Just a baby growing up in front of my eyes. I mean, going all the way back to winter 2016. Zio wasn't even able to even enter the Red Bull studios. He had to play from the hotel. He was so young, but it's been so cool seeing how he has grown as a player and as a person, and has certainly made a name for himself in the live buff, which maybe he's going to get here again this weekend.
Yeah, you can see their first place in the Worlds, getting the World's MVP as well. That live buff is something that if you haven't been around in Vainglory, it's something that we talk about with D'Enzio a lot, where the regular season kind of average play, above average in terms of the general community. But once he gets onto a stage, just becomes a totally different player, it feels like, because he is so good on those live stages and in front of the camera when the pressure is on.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, as you saw up there, it said King of 2017. I mean, I basically destroyed the EA team. I mean, we destroyed Cloud9 here, Gabe in school. They got that nice clap from me and Tiggs, but I'm really excited. I definitely did take a break for quite a while, so I'm definitely not at the same skill level, but I had to take the break because I was just so good back then, and I needed to make it a little bit more even for them so we can have some good skill matchups.
All right, well, with you being on the clock now and looking at the players available, we'll see what everyone else has to say about that later on. But right now, what are you thinking as far as your first pick? Obviously you like to play the lane, so are you looking for another laner to kind of pair up with you, or are you trying to get one of the other roles and take that off the board early?
So I think I'm gonna try to play mid since I know a lot of the players. So for right now, I'm gonna try to go for a good bot laner, and right now I have my eye on Lulu because I know that I'm pretty sure he played a previous week, but he wasn't happy with his result. So I think he definitely tried a lot better and improved. So I think right now I'm definitely going with Lulu, but I'm still deciding. I'm also looking at Hammy.
Well, I mean, if you're ready to lock that one in, you can kick things off with your first pick if you're comfortable with that one.
I think I'm comfortable with going with Lulu as my pick.
Okay, Zio.
Awesome. That's a pretty good pick, honestly.
Not
So Lulu
surprised.
Gabe's just happy that he didn't pick
belongs
me.
to Zio now.
Well, we probably know who
There
my
it
pick
is.
is
So
now.
first pick of the draft going to be Lulu Ziu for D'Enzio, which means now Gabe Vizzle, you are going to be on the clock next. So start to take a look at that one. Bacon, I'm going to pass it straight over to you. Talk to me about this Lulu Ziu pick.
Yeah, Lulu Gio is a player that, if you watched Vainglory in the past, you've seen him. He's been on Gangstars, but he's never really been on a team that has been able to flourish around him. He's been a solid player all along. It's just, one of those situations where he hasn't really shined because of the, not necessarily being in the best positions, being in, having the communication was always a concern with him, because it's basically this player that has this star-studded talent, and everyone is kind of becoming aware of it now. And that the fact that he's able to carry, he's been giving advice to some of the pro players. I know Hammy actually was like, hey, Lulu's the one that messaged me and said, start playing the CP Vox. And he started just tearing it up with it. So Lulu's definitely a player that knows his stuff.
Yeah, the communication really interesting to touch on. I know that he's from a Chinese nationality. Same thing as Von C. When I first started playing with Von C, communication was something that we had to work out and struggle with. So it's going to be really interesting to see how Zio is able to kind of overcome that and see how their synergy meshes, especially come tomorrow.
Yeah, I think he definitely hasn't shined, but I know with me, we're just going to destroy everyone.
Love it.
I'm very confident in him.
And he saw a 90% win rate in ranked queues in Vainglory right now. So that's a pretty impressive number to be bringing on into the All-Stars.
Yeah, it really is. I'm excited to see what Lulu's going to be able to do in that first pick. Now, Gabe, while you're on the clock, I want to talk a little bit about what happened last weekend, because unfortunately, or not last weekend, last week 2 of the VPL, you didn't have the greatest week ever, I think it's fair to say. Someone who did, though, was starting all over, who managed to start things off in style.
Oh, no. I would definitely say that.
It's kind of like a pattern now. Like, last time we won VPL, and now we're winning this again. As a captain, of course, I'm really proud of my team. Everyone played absolutely amazing.
I see the smile coming out there from starting.
It was easy.
What was easy about it? Talk me through that.
Everything was easy. Like, everything went according to plan, except, Gatsby throwing the top lane. Other than that, everything else was good.
Starting, obviously, he was willing to throw out a little bit of smack talk himself, but I think he received more than he gave last weekend.
Oh, yeah, he definitely did. I think he, starting in general, was probably the one in the middle, just taking all the trash talk. I know that Evo and Hammy were just going at it with him, and then he ended up winning, so like it's just a big slap in their face.
Yeah, he gets the last laugh. So.
Yeah, he does. He definitely does. But yeah, starting is definitely a good pick. I'm thinking about picking a mid laner right now. Since I am a support main, I just have to go with the carry. I can't go for another support.
Shaded talent this time?
Yeah, I'm definitely not going to go for a support. That was just a bad idea. I don't know what I was thinking. But yeah, I'm definitely looking for a carry. Zio probably took one of the best bot laners, so I'll probably have to just go for a mid laner, and then hopefully next pick, probably pick either bot or top. So that's probably what I'm thinking about right now.
Yeah, now obviously starting with the win last week, does that play into your decision of knowing, hey, he's coming off the high of like having that victory, he has the, obviously the ability, looking at the stars, do those kind of factor into your decision of who you're looking to draft?
Yeah, stars are definitely what I'm looking at. It's really either between starting or Hammy for me. I think Hammy is he's been grinding VG. I even saw him streaming like a couple days ago. So I know that he's really prepared to play another game and just try to get back into the VG grind.
But now, is there going to be any, if you do go for something like Hammy, like all of you guys really have this as a potential, you just beat him in WESG. Like, is that a concern? Is he going to be like, you know what, I'm going to take you down.
Run it down.
No, I mean, if I were to pick Hammy, and that's probably someone that I will pick, it's just, I don't know. It's just, I kind of want Vision, the whole Vision roster. Like, that's my strategy right there. Just take Hammy, except for Shaded. Just everyone but Shaded. That's what I'm probably going to do. So
You
I'll
have less than a
probably
minute on the clock, so you can lock in if you're ready.
yeah, I'll definitely lock in Hammy right here.
All right, we're sure you don't want shaded talent. Before you grab it up.
Positive.
All right, Gabe Bizzle takes Hammy.
There it is.
I think that's definitely a great choice. I mean, Hammy really did have a great weekend at WestG. Unfortunately, his team did take second place to you guys, but obviously with you guys filling out the start of the roster up here, trying to pick more people up from the Vision roster, definitely a smart way to go. Old school on the clock now. Give me some of your thoughts of what you're thinking.
Okay, so I'm probably going to be playing one of the carry roles, either mid or bot. So I'm going to be, actually, I can really pick something from some player from any role. Like, I don't think there's anything like that is like too high priority, because there's like a good like mix of like all the roles in the list.
So now, when you won in week 1 of Fantasy All-Stars, Hammy was actually on your team.
Yeah.
So now that Gabe Bizzle's taking him away, does that kind of change? Were you planning on getting him? Were you hoping to get Hammy?
I was actually expecting him to be taken away.
Okay, so you were expecting him to go 1 or 2.
Yeah.
I mean, let's talk a little bit about that Hammy pick as well, because, you know, he's had a fantastic performance in WSG. Recently, he has been performing, like you guys were saying, he has been on the grind on VG. I mean, Bacon, especially this CP Vox that we've been seeing coming out from him, I feel like he's really evolved as a player recently.
Yeah, absolutely. He's been very much willing to adapt. I mean, you go all the way back to preseason, he wasn't even playing mid lane then, and he's been swapping roles, you know, being willing to kind of change with what he's playing, not only just the heroes, but even roles. So, you know, as a hero, when you pick him, you get someone who's very flexible and has the, you know, the willingness to change to play what is strongest at the time. Take a look at our Razor replay. This is actually from the WESG US Finals.
Look at you guys getting smacked.
This is game one.
You guys are getting freaking destroyed.
We wanted them to win because we gave them like a really good draft.
We were not trying to win that game, not even a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Nah, school just threw that game by giving away first blood.
No,
Let's be honest.
That's
game one, exactly.
That was game one. I was playing Finn actually,
that's game one.
and I thought I can reposition against the Vox, but like he was just hitting me the whole time. I was doing nothing.
No, the main problem was like Arden, to be honest, in that draft.
Oh yeah, because he would always delete our carries.
There was a lot of problems with that draft. Like not just Arden, it was all over, like just bad.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
All right, well, coming on into this weekend as well, Hammy actually had a few words for you guys on why he was a top pick. So far, he's already proven to be a top pick, but let's see what he had to say in our Razor Rewind.
What's up, guys? It's Hammy. You know, I think I'm a priority pick going into this weekend of VPL All-Stars for a number of reasons, one of which being that I'm pretty flexible. I can play top mid bot at a fairly high level. You know, I have a pretty decent hero pool. Another reason is I get along well with others. So, you know, unless you're bad, iJets or Chuck, you know, it'll probably be fine. Also, I'm really good at being a runner-up, getting second place. So you have a pretty good chance of getting to finals, which is better than nothing, you know. So yeah, pick me up.
Feels bad, man, for Hammy, the king of second place in his own words. But also, second player to call out Chuck so far today. He's not on the table. He's not in the list of players. I mean, Flash, you were his teammate for a long time. Why does everyone bully Chuck?
You know, Chuck just has a knack for putting himself in quite a precarious position where he just sets him up for getting roasted. If he's been called out twice already, I can tell you that that's not going to be the end of it either. We definitely have some more coming up, talking about his WSG footwear, maybe his Vox mechanics a little bit. More to come.
Hey, that's a footwear of a champion, though.
Fair enough.
For anyone who hasn't seen it, there's a picture from the WSG Finals where everyone's wearing normal shoes and all. Chuck's up there with just flip-flops, like just chilling.
Yeah, I mean, Team Razor even tweeted that one out as well. But we're starting to run out of time on Old School's pick here. So, pick number 3, my man. Are you ready to lock in?
Not really. It's actually a really hard pick.
Talk me through the decision process here.
Like, I want to pick starting, but like at the same time, like I kind of want to play mid because it's like really important in this meta.
Don't play mid. I'm gonna smack you.
Dude,
Do not play mid.
You should actually just play mid.
Dude, just
smack you.
I don't know.
Dude, school, just stay in bot.
People literally get
Stay in
slapped around
bot.
in mid.
Dude, stay in bot, school.
I want to see it.
Dude, just play mid.
Yeah, school, you just play mid.
School, if you play mid, it's gonna be the same thing as world champs. I freaking destroyed you. Just stay in bot, buddy.
You got 20 seconds.
Yeah, School, you got 20 seconds.
Come on, School.
homie.
If you don't pick anyone, you get Delphi. I mean, that's a pretty strong pick to be picking up by default. But if you want someone else,
10 seconds.
Oh my gosh, you got to pick, dude.
All right, I'm gonna pick Shaded Talent.
That's a left field curveball right
Wow.
All right.
I'm surprised about that one.
Okay.
Old
Okay,
School's taken Shaded Talent. Gabe, I'm sure you're happy to hear that.
Yes.
All right. That's a good pick locked in. That means T-Tigers, you are now on the clock, so start looking at that list. Old School, that came out of left field, though. Talk to me about the Shaded Talent pick here.
Like, I'm not like too confident with starting in mid. I don't know. I just like, I think I'm gonna take mid. So that's why I wanted like a strong support. Like, it's really important.
Okay, there was no consideration of going for a bot laner instead.
I don't think there's too many like, because Lulu's taken away already. I don't think anyone else that I would like first pick as a bot laner.
All right. Well, I mean, guys, what do you make of this shaded talent lock-in? Obviously, didn't work out so well last week, but that was because the duo captains on the roster. Certainly a very good mechanical player individually.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think he's the most mechanically skilled captain on that roster up there for sure. So I think the pick makes sense. I mean, you want someone that's going to complement someone with the mechanics that Old School has. So it definitely makes sense intuitively. It's just interesting to see that he does value the captain role so much.
Yeah, but I mean, if you look at the rest of the players remaining, you have to go pretty far down until you find someone else who mains captain. I mean, I'm pretty much looking all the way down at number 16. Lost Boy Toph is the next captain on this list. So that could actually be a really smart pickup to go ahead and grab Shaded Talent, the top captain in the pool, and just the level, the difference between like mid laners. You have starting Hammy, they're right neck and neck with each other. You look at junglers, obviously there's Delphi way up at the top, but then you've got Joseph who's up there and Kaz who can all play jungle. But when you go to the captain role, there is a large disparity between like Shaded Talent and Lost Boy Toph, for example. And so I actually really like this pickup of grabbing the captain early.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty smart.
No, but School's switching positions from bot to mid. That's what I tried doing in week 2.
You literally tried playing top.
I did try playing top.
No, you can't play top.
School needed to pick Shaded because throughout School's career with Gabe had to put School in his back during the lane phase. So School knows if he's playing mid, he needs a good support or he's going to get cucked.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I feel like me and Hammy in mid, we're just going to destroy everyone, high key.
All right.
We are.
Well, let's see.
All right.
We'll see. All right. Well, while you, T-Tigers, while you have a look through that list, continue to peruse.
Pretty hard.
We're going to talk a little bit about your history as a player. Now, again, T-Tigers, you've been around the block, it's fair to say. World champion 2017. I mean, Flash, talk to me about T-Tigers, because you've been his opponent multiple times.
Yeah, these are definitely some old events. Taking that first North American Fall Championship with Liberation X, going all the way through all 6 players, definitely incredible. All the way up until last year, I mean, winning the World Championship, he has been at the peak for his position, whatever that has been throughout the entirety of his career. Definitely
Say that. Oh.
very well known throughout the North American scene.
Yep. He won the very first major live championship, and he's won the most recent major live championship. So no stranger to winning for T-Tigers. But I want to go and focus on this pick now. You were very much trying to encourage Old School to play mid. Was that because you wanted someone like starting all over to be available for you?
I mean, I kind of wanted starting, but at the same time, like I know starting hasn't played Region in a while, so like it kind of makes me question how good he is.
He did win.
He did win though,
too.
so like
Yeah.
I don't know. I think for starting, I think if I pick him with John, which is pretty solid, because for good players like starting, it's easy to come back and just pick the game up really quickly again.
You should pick Joseph.
At the same time, I'm kind of selfish, and because jungle right now is like the boringest position, it's like really low impact. I kind of want to like play a carry position. And
Come on.
Are you good?
Play mid.
Tiggs,
Let's go.
Yeah.
are you good enough to play carry position
I might as well
though?
play mid
I
too
would
now.
love to
We should
play
all
mid.
just play mid
It's
against
just
each
Wait,
other.
I would clap school. So
Literally, you're so bad at carry. I saw you play Silvernell yesterday. Oh my god.
cool, relax.
Tiggs doesn't want to talk about that.
Literally can't play any hero except Silvernell. Like his kinetics like utter trash.
Don't even get me started on your kid.
All right, we have had already a ton of smack talk about that tonight. T-Tigers, you're under a minute now.
Yeah.
Are you ready to lock in your first pick?
I honestly don't know.
Pick Joseph.
You won't.
What role are you
I
looking
won't
towards?
be
We've got less than 30 seconds remaining. The time is ticking down. If you don't pick, it'll default to Lone Delphi.
Pressure's on.
Honestly,
15 seconds.
yeah, I think I'll just go with starting.
Starting?
Yeah.
All right. Tiggs. I'm going to call you Tiggs. Starting all over. Taking off the board.
All right, which means you are once again on the clock, T-Tigers. It's going to bounce back the other way now. So continue perusing. You obviously needed more time. We're giving you 5 more minutes. So. All right, so let's talk a little bit about this pick here. Starting all over, coming on in. Definitely a big mid laner when it comes on through. We'll see if he's going to be able to have that impact. I know a lot of you guys are umming and ahhing about him. We're going to get into that discussion a little bit further right after this.
like as
You can't pass over Joseph twice.
third round.
All right, we are back. We're giving away a ton of stuff across the course of this weekend. All you have to do is watch and you can win. We're giving away 25,000 ice this weekend. We're giving away $500 this weekend. And we're also giving away a ton of Vainglory swag as well. But right now, there is a 5,000 ice giveaway happening in Twitch chat. Get involved, get in the chat, and you can win yourself some skins to walk away with, or at least some ice. Maybe you just want to use it on name changes. Who knows? T-Tigers is on the clock right now. He's considering what he wants to go with as the fifth pick of the draft. But in the meantime, we have FlashX and Dienzio standing by in the other studio. We're going to pass it over to them to have a little chat.
All right, we're here with Dienzio. I was able to get him one-on-one, kind of be able to figure out what he has been doing in his time away from Vainglory, kind of what your goals are right now and what you're working towards.
So honestly, I've just been chilling. You know, I still watch, try, play, practice. I think it's very cool of them. And seeing them win, even though that I am smack talking them, is really awesome to see Tribe win. And I just love everyone on that table over there.
That's awesome, especially that you've been able to maintain some of those super close relationships. In speaking about watching them be able to play, Chuck had to play Vox last weekend. Give me your thoughts on that.
So number one, I think Chuck's Vox was just garbage. I mean, that just shows you how broken Vox is if Chuck can play it. I know that Chuck is a very good player, but just not on Vox. And I also think Hammy's Vox isn't that good. And I think that the best Vox players are like if School played Vox, he could really show people how Vox is played. And I just think we haven't seen someone that can really flourish with that pick.
That definitely makes sense. I had to play with Chuck for almost a year. Every time he picked up Vox, we had to do one of those, but you know, they did get the win. So huge congratulations to them. Give me your thoughts kind of going into this weekend. What are you expecting? Do you really think you can win against these guys? They won't hear any of this. So yeah, just kind of let me know what's going through your head.
Well, so I know that Tiggs is trying to play bot now or whatever, and he's a jungler. So, I mean, they're going to be at a disadvantage. Tiggs isn't a carry. That's why he's a jungler. But honestly, I think my team can win as long as I get good picks. And that's why I felt very comfortable taking Lulu, because I really believe in him. And I definitely played with him before when he used to be bad and how he's been getting better. But as long as I have good picks, I think we can destroy everyone. That's
awesome. Totally think that makes sense. So you're obviously very confident in how well you can do. Who would you say you're most worried about going into tomorrow? Everyone's got their first pick on the boards. For many players, that's their power picks, obviously, taking the best players off the board first. But from what you've seen so far, who would you say you're most worried about?
I'm a very confident person, but I think the person I'm most worried about is myself, because you know, it has been a long time since I've played, and I think that if I go too hard on them, it's not going to be fun to watch, and they haven't experienced the Dienzio level playing field since 2 months ago, really, since the last time I started playing. So yeah, they're not ready for it, but yeah, I'm worried for myself.
Hey, that's an absolutely awesome answer, Zio. Thank you so much for your time. That's all we have here. We're going to throw things back over to Joe on the desk.
Easy this to start with.
Thanks very much, Flash. Now, we are still on the clock here. T-Tigers is starting to run out of time as we continue with our draft. We're into the fifth pick now. I'm going to pass it straight over to you, Tiggs, because you have less than a minute on the clock, which means we are ready for your pick if you're ready to lock it in.
I mean, I still don't know if I'm playing jungle or not, so I'm just like super confused right now.
You had like 4 minutes to think about it.
I know, it's the main problem.
He's had like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
The main problem is there's very few bot laners. Like I see TiVo, and that's about it. Because Lulu was already picked.
Gatsby?
Gatsby's the top laner, I'm pretty sure.
He plays Baron. You could.
I mean, if he wants to get clapped, he can play bot. Let him.
We can let him play Baron.
Yeah, play bot if you want.
I'm not too sure.
Yeah, 15
All right, well, you got 15 seconds.
I think
right now you're looking at defaulting to Delphi.
Take Cause.
Cause?
Can I take Cause?
All right.
Because starting, Cause and I used to play a little bit together, so I know Cause can like support too, and he's just a really good mechanical player overall. So. I feel like,
All right.
I was just a solid pick overall.
All right, so Cause is taken off the board by Tiggs.
I agree with that pick.
So-
That's a good pick, Tiggs.
Cos locked on in, which means Old School, you're now going to be on the clock once again. Let's discuss this Cos pick just a little bit here. Interesting that you've gone so far down the board, especially for a jungler, because there are guys like Joseph on the board, Delphi. I mean, Delphi was rank 1, according to me, coming on into the...
Delphi's obviously a really good jungler.
Yeah, Duffy's really good.
And Joseph's kind of like Zio, they're both like been out of the loop for a while.
Cause is a beast. I mean, when I had made the decision to kind of step down away from being a pro player, and I knew that I was going to have to rebuild the roster for a 5v5 situation, I knew that I wanted to pick up Cause for the new TSM roster. They performed super, super well during the preseason, and obviously coming in second place, even though he wasn't able to play for Vision, he was definitely sorely missed.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he gained the nickname the mastermind of the jungle during the preseason. So it's been unfortunate we've not seen him recently coming on into the Summer Open. Or coming into the Fantasy All-Stars. We saw him in week 2, did pretty decently. Now we're seeing him again. Tiger's going to be locking him in. So I'm excited to see what he's going to have to pull out of the hat there.
Now, my question for you, Tigers, is that with Kaz, obviously he's known as a jungler, but so are you. So is this you confirming that you are going to be playing a different role, or are you going to try and force Kaz to play somewhere else?
Well, not necessarily, because I remember when we were playing together, starting Kaz and I, like Kaz was supporting, and we're just having fun together, and it's pretty. We're winning a lot too. So.
Okay, Zix.
I'm not too sure. Maybe I'll support in Cosmo Jungle. Who knows?
Okay.
Tiggs won't do that. Tiggs will never do that.
You do not want to come with this crew.
Tiggs doesn't want to win.
Wait, my
Dude, this is the most like laissez-faire attitude to the first 2 picks I've seen in any of these drafts.
Yeah, the thing is like, I'm not too sure.
You're never too sure, Tiggs.
Yeah, I know starting is gonna go mid, but I think college is like really flexible. So.
Yeah. It's a fair pick, that is for sure. Now, Old School is on the clock. Flash X, I want to talk to you again about the history of Old School. He's been a carry for a very long time and a very accomplished carry at that. Talk to me about him as a player, as an opponent.
Yeah, he has always been an absolute beast as far as performance goes. I know firsthand just how strong he was when he was a part of Cloud9 alongside Gabe Izzle. Certainly gave us a fair share of our handful of difficulties. He certainly maintained his position at the top of one of the best carries throughout the course of his career, and certainly no surprise that he's here with Tribe as well.
Yeah, I mean, even just, super recently, going back to the first week of VPL Fantasy All-Stars, you can see on your screen right now the highlights from that Old School was just hard carrying this team. We said it was almost unfair that he was one of the captains because he basically got 2 first picks in his draft. So it was definitely a top player that everyone was kind of like, man, why can't we have the choice of drafting him instead?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we lost. I first picked Old School, and I thought he was going to carry us.
Literally, like when you play top, like, oh my god.
Okay,
I mean,
that's why you shouldn't
had
pick
like a
School.
no tax speed. It just failed too. Like, it was amazing.
that was bad.
All right, well, Old School, on the first round, you picked up Shade of Talent. You went for the captain. What role are you leaning towards now? Have you decided whether you're going mid or bot yet?
Yeah. I'm probably going to go mid, but I don't know if I want to take away a party jungler, party bot laner, party
Top.
jungler. Or yeah, top. It's just so hard.
All right, so still pondering.
I feel like top lane is like there's probably more top laners on here left than any other role. I mean, you have Zelciar, Tivo, I know can play top. Gatsby, Neon Fire, like all these guys are top laners, and Pico as well if you go a little bit further down. So like top almost feels like the role that you can kind of leave for a little bit, but at the same time, if you do get one of those hard carries, is he going to be enough to get you the win? So it's a lot to think about with the what roles you're looking to draft.
Yeah, certainly as well. We have 40 seconds left on the clock, Old School. So if you're ready for your pick, we are too.
I'm going to go with Delphi.
All right, finally, Delphi,
Okay,
number 1
Delphi.
ranked.
Damn.
Where
I
is he?
wanted Delphi.
Way down here.
Damn.
Now you can
All
get
right,
this.
old school takes the #1 ranked
I only
player.
took Delphi because you took Cause. Like, if you didn't take them, then, like, a lot of junglers
All
would
right.
have those.
Well, with Delphi locked in, that is going to be Gabe Vizzle on the clock once again. Do you want to repeat that a little bit loud? what was the thought process on going for Delphi? Then?
Okay, so Tiggs, like, took away one of the really good junglers, Cause, and, like, as far as I can see, like, there aren't, like, too many top junglers left. So I wanted to make sure, like, I'm not going to be picking for a long time. Like, there's going to be, like, a lot of picks before I get to pick again. I want to make sure I have a decent jungler.
All right, so basing around the fact that you're going to be third pick.
Yeah.
But jungle doesn't even matter in this meta, so I don't know why you
Yeah,
focus on a jungle.
Well, so then pick Joseph then, Gabe, if it doesn't
I'm not
matter.
gonna pick Joseph. I don't think jungle is a priority right now, for sure.
Yeah, if
Probably
he doesn't
top.
think jungle's important, then he can just
Jungle.
save jungle for his last pick.
I kind of agree with that too. Jungle's like,
All right,
Yeah.
let's take a look at a Razor rewind of Lone Delphi abusing the Yates pick, pressuring the bot turret, and then flies up to the jungle where he can help out his team. This was in game number 4 of your series. It looked like Vision was setting up for a victory, honestly.
Yo, that was when Chuck went for the blue, right? And dodge
no, that's when you killed yourself.
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
you
that's when he walked to the tree end,
School
right?
literally walked to the tree and he got jumped on and died instantly.
Yeah.
Like, what a troll.
Standard school move.
Yeah, you're dead.
It really is, though.
It is.
Always goes for the farm.
But like that's one of the things that people talk about as a strength for him, though, is like how much farm he ends up getting. Like we were talking about it at WSG, like he was constantly more CS than the mid laners, despite there being an extra minion in the mid lane. So, you know, is that something that for you guys as a team, is that something that you encourage him to be constantly looking for all that farm, or is it just something you want to do?
No, as a team, we want to stay as a team, right? So we would we get Black Claw, right? And then it's 4 people, even Zell's with us, the top laner, and School's just farming the backs, trying to get in a fusion, and then coming in late to a team fight, and then we just lose because we don't have our main damage over there. So, no, definitely not encourage him to get as much farm as possible, but we want him to stay with us as a team.
In school, clearly you do not share the same ideology as Gabe does.
I mean,
what's kind of your thought
I
process?
don't actually know what Black Claw fight you're talking about, but my team does have.
He literally watched the replay and pointed it out to us.
Okay. My team does have a tendency to think that they can take fights 45. Like, I know they are very confident, so they do want to, like, fight 45. So, like, they just want to, like, start fighting without me.
No, school. It's just that you're
They
literally
wanna
10
fight
seconds.
without
You're
me.
literally 10 seconds behind us.
You want to fight without me. Like, I see you guys, like, going towards them.
No, we literally took Black Claw, and school literally walks all the way to the backs to farm it, and then walks all the way back to shop. And Black Claw's already at their turret. And this guy's like, I'm on my way.
Oh, yeah, because I didn't have infuse, right? Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, okay, so Black Claw was already captured.
All right. Well, while Gabe is on the clock looking through those final picks, or through his second pick, sorry, we can peruse the list of who is still available right now. We have 6 picks in place, which means Zelsia is the next rated player. And I think it's worth bringing up the fact that Zelsia is your guys' teammate. He's so far been ignored. Is there a reason for that?
I mean, I think the main reason is there's just so many top laners open, and everybody can just take a top laner, you know? Like, Zell, Gatsby, Neon, and Yuki, right? Four top laners, and, you know, we can probably each end up with a good top laner. I think that's probably the main reason why. And when you look at bot laners, we have Tivo, Lulu, and then all the way down, we just have Miko and Iraqi. So it's like...
So the team synergy factor there doesn't sway that in favor of Zelsia over the others?
I mean, I think it does. If it comes down to it, I'll pick Zell over the other 4, other 3 top laners.
But it just doesn't make
But
it
it's
a
just
priority.
like priority, you know? I don't think it makes sense to pick a top laner when there's so many available.
Yeah, there's a lot of
You should pick Iraqi, Gabe.
No, I'm looking for, I don't know what to pick. I'm messaging Hemi right now, and he's telling me to pick Evol, but then that's just like week 2. I'm picking another support. So I don't know what his...
Well, you have 50 seconds left. So the pressure is on Gabe.
If it does help, I can tell you that Evol has actually been playing a lot of top lane.
Okay.
That's something that I've been seeing a lot from Evol. Like in the games that he has been playing, he's been working on his top lane play. And he's played mid before.
We saw a captain play top lane in week 2, though. in the game.
That was I'm just bad at.
There is a difference between someone practicing a role and preparing for it versus Gabe 24 hours out saying, I think maybe I'll play top lane this weekend.
Well, you got just over 10 seconds to lock in this pick. Otherwise, you are going to be getting Excelsior.
Okay, I'll pick TiVo. I want to secure just my carries in general. So I'll go with TiVo, and then that is 2 people from Vision. So my strategy is going
According to plan.
pretty well.
All right. Gabe takes TiVo, locks him in on his team.
All right, with that means D'Anzio, you are on the clock once again.
Yeah.
So this draft vision strategy that you're running, this was something that Old School did in week number 1 of Fantasy All-Stars as well. Got him the win. He's obviously, again, trying to do it here now. So there's not going to be too many members of Vision left at this point. Delphi, obviously, even though he was a member of Vision, isn't a full-time member of Vision. So that actually kind of adds an extra Vision player to the pool. But are you guys going to still keep competing for that next Vision player for your next picks?
Who is the next player? Oh, it's Neon. Yeah, possibly. I definitely think that Neon is a good top laner. There are a lot of top laners on the list, like you said, so I don't know if we need to really prioritize any of the top laners right now. Just look for, I guess, carries and supports for these guys because they don't really have much of an option there. Shaded's already off the board, and I guess the next best pick is Evol in my eyes, but who knows who's going to pick him.
Evol's certainly impressed on the week that he was a captain. I think he played to a level that maybe some people weren't expecting. Let's take a look at the stats for TiVo coming on into this week. Top played hero in solo queue, still going to be Kestrel. A little bit out of the meta, but definitely still. I mean, Kestrel's one of those heroes, if you're good at it, you can kind of play it any time.
Yeah, and when you look at the WSG last week, TiVo was playing against you guys. He played the Kinetic of a whole bunch, but it was also in your finals, Kinetic lost every game that it was played in. So is that something that is a concern for you at all going in, like the hero pool for him at all?
I definitely think that he does play a pretty good Arden, but Arden is a really broken hero, so that's why we were trying to ban it from him, or in just general, we didn't want to play against a weapon Arden. Yeah, Kinetic is good, but I also think that Silvernail is also on top as well. So I mean, he can play both of those heroes, so that's really what I was looking for. I don't really know any of the other bot laners that can play these heroes as well as Skull can. So definitely, that's the reason why I picked TiVo.
Even with all the history and experience you have with Iraqi, no faith with him able to slide into the bot lane, rekindle some of the old Gangstars synergy to pull it off?
I was actually thinking about picking Iraqi, but I mean, I haven't really seen him play. I know he's in WESG for Canada, but like just their roster in general is probably going to get slapped as well.
That's Max, though.
I know, I love Max, but at the same time, like he knows that they're probably going to lose. So,
well, speaking of Iraqi Zoro, we actually spoke to him leading on into this week. He had to raise a phone on why he should be.
Yeah.
Yo, what's up, guys? Iraqi Zoro here, and I've got to answer this question real quick. So, why should you choose me to play for you this weekend? And it's pretty simple. We all go way back. Gabe, original GS series, baby. Nothing else needs to be said. Tiggs, yeah, we've never teamed up in Vainglory before, but we did win the ROS and A championship together. That got to count for something. Who's next? Zio. I know you don't like to say this in public, but I've heard you say before that when you first started playing Vainglory, you actually used to look up to me, man. So why you gotta hide it? Don't hide it anymore. Don't hide it anymore. Old school, our Vox rivalry does go way back, so don't run the risk of getting beaten by my Vox, man. Just pick me on your team. We'll win this thing together. We'll be happy. We'll get the money, right? We'll get the glory. All right, finally.
Well, he hasn't been. I know that, like, honestly, he had a peak in his career, and he's definitely not as good he's not as good as definitely most of the other pro players. So I'm not gonna pick him right here. So I'll let him go down the line a little bit. So I'm thinking about a few picking strategies too. Iraqi's not part of the picking strategy here, but I'm thinking of. I think I have 3 picks in mind. because I know I'm picking
Twice.
right after this. So I think I'm going to go with Pekko, the Mecco, because he is, honestly, he's pretty good, but he's just he has a little pizzazz of annoying. He's just annoying to play against, and I don't want anything annoying right now. So I think I'm going to pick Pekko for right now, and also there's another benefit, but I'm not saying right now, just in case. But
Okay,
He
Zio.
has like a really good
All
draft
right.
right now.
Zio goes with Pekko.
Remember who went for that draft? Isn't that heavy?
Yeah, you have
All right.
this draft right now from week 2.
That's going to be locked on in. So, Dienzio, your time for your next pick starts once again. So, keep looking at Alice while he has a browse of who's still available. We're going to go into a quick break. Don't go anywhere.